All right, we got a notification that we're live. I just needed to connect up so that we can get our link and give it to our community so that they can join us. If they don't want to be in studio, they can watch us on YouTube. Speaking of our community, if you are a business and you are struggling to get to your first six figures in business, we have built a community just for you. So we would like for you to join us. It's at shaycannon.info/group. Okay, it's a community just for you. We have all kinds of value, free trainings, discounts on paid workshops. We have movie night where we talk about business movies and pull out the business nuggets. We just had one of those last week. It was great. We actually built a formula with like 27 steps based on the movie. So yeah, we have all of this stuff. Plus, we want you to join the conversation, join the collaborations, right? So that you can have community. So shaycannon.info/group. Okay, let's get started. We are ready. So welcome to Unlock Your First Six Figures morning show. I am your host, Shay Cannon. It all starts with the blog. This week's blog is at shaycannon.com/host. That's HOST, because what we're talking about this week is hosting sales events, okay, to sell your offer. Hosting sales events to sell your offer. This can greatly change your bottom line. It's a game changer, okay? It can increase your bottom line. So this is part 2 of 4. Part 1 was all about preparation for the sales event. If you missed that, catch the replay for part 1. Today is part 2, hosting the sales event, okay? Actually hosting the sales event. So you're going to choose the right type of event because that is crucial. So we're going to use all the clarity that we got from part 1 and adapt it to our decision making. So we're going to determine what format is best to attract the specific avatar that we chose for the specific offer that we're trying to pitch at the end. So this could be any number of event types, okay? In the blog, I only kind of named 3. I named workshops, summits, and community events, right? But on the morning show, we always give more. Do we not? Do we not? Do we not? So let me give you some more types, okay? So any kind of training presentation, okay? Any type of training presentation. So that could be a webinar, okay? Anything where you're just presenting something. There's not really, any interaction for real. You're presenting. So any kind of training where you're presenting. Any kind of workshop or lab where you're presenting and then you're working with the people to actually get the results. Okay, those are y'all know y'all get tricked by the buzzwords, but there are actual meanings to these things, right? So a training presentation like a webinar or online training, you're just presenting information, okay? They can adapt it, whatever. You might have a call to action at the end, but you're not necessarily being interactive to make sure they got it, okay? Workshop, they actually get to work with you right there, helping them, okay? So workshop in the lab, that's what that is. Then you got summit and a conference. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all, in the real world, summits and conferences are different, okay? In the real world, a summit is coming together to solve one problem. That's what a summit is. That's what NATO does and all of them. They do summits. They come together to solve one problem. A conference is like a gathering of a bunch of experts talking about a bunch of different things. That's a conference, right? A bunch of different things that could, benefit you. So there are differences to these words, but let's go on with the buzzword, right? A conference or a summit is something that you could have. You can do a panel where you gather people to talk, okay? You can do an interview. Now, those interviews, they can be panels or it could be one person. It could be one instrumental person. It could be one high profile person, right? But you definitely want it to be someone that your audience, your tribe wants to hear from and needs to hear from. And if it's not the person, then maybe it's their skill set, right? But it has to be highly desired by your tribe for it to work and be one person, right? Because who wants to go and hear somebody they don't know talking about something they don't want to hear about? Okay, keep that in mind. All right. You can do a challenge. You can do a challenge. Again, this is become a buzzword. It can mean whatever you want it to mean. So it could be I'm going to present and then you do. I'm going to present and then you do. I'm going to present and then you do. Okay. So that's a challenge. They should leave the challenge with something, right? I challenge you to do something. By the end, have you done it? Right. Community events. These are events that focus on a benefit to the community. Now, the community can be any community, all right? It could be a community of entrepreneurs. It could be a community of children. It could be a community of disabled people, a community, right? We're a community, okay? So it's funny because entrepreneurs don't see themselves as community when it comes to serving each other sometimes. But I have been a part of things that was for the entrepreneurial community, like a hackathon. Okay. If you've never heard of a hackathon, what that is you take one of the community members' problems and everybody comes together and we solve that problem. Now, it kind of sounds like a hot seat in coaching, right? But it's not. What it is everybody brings all of their tools, everybody brings all of their know-how, and they actually get something done. Right. So it could be, for example, in our community, we may have Dr. LaFera, and she needs to migrate her stuff from, let's just say, Sam Cart to Go High Level. That's something I'm doing right now. Anyway, and it takes a lot of steps, right? So we all get together and we are doing stuff. One person might do the copy. Another person might do the visuals. The other person might pull in some automations. The other person might actually be the one to put it in the technology. The other person might be the one to pull it out of the old technology. We get together, we hack the problem, and we get it done by the end of the day. That's a hackathon, okay? But that's an example of a community event for entrepreneurs, just in case y'all have never heard of that. You can do a demonstration. You can do an expo. You can do a town hall where y'all are like tackling a crisis amongst a group of people, or coming together talking about what you're going to do to make things better. You could do a party with a purpose. That's a few different things, y'all. And that could be a breakfast, a brunch, a lunch, a dinner. You know, we love to eat and drink, right? As we're talking about things, and then you pitch whatever your offer is. It could be something like a Tupperware party, right? You're meeting in an entertaining way just to pitch, right? It's that goes for more than just products like Avon and Tupperware. You can do that with a service. Yes, you can. You can have a coffee chat and then pitch your service. We could talk about, like, for example, the state of marketing for service-based entrepreneurs as a coffee chat. And then at the end, you could pitch what your solution is, right? You can have an awards event. You can have a gala. You can have a social, or you can have a networking event, right? All of these can have a component of giving content that is valuable and pitching your offer at the end, okay? So other considerations, you got to know your avatar, right? We knew that from part one, but this event could be paid or it could be free, okay? It could be in person or it could be virtual. It could be live or it could be pre-recorded. It could be 1 hour versus multiple days, okay? These are all considerations, and I hope y'all got all of that down, because as y'all know, this is in addition to what is in the blog post. So you can't go to the blog post and get just this stuff that we're talking about right now, because I'm giving you added stuff, okay? So let's talk about, well, you know what? Since I gave you so much information, let me first ask, does anybody have any questions about, you know, what type of event and the considerations for that event? Do you have any questions? And I'm gonna go ahead and do a round robin and ask, which one do you think would benefit your tribe the most? Let's start with Dr. Toya. Dr. Toya, out of all the types that I listed, which one do you think would benefit your people the most?
Well, so this is a trick question. My community really benefits from the challenges.
Yes.
They're engaged, they love it, they grow. From a sales standpoint, for me, the people who show up at the challenge aren't necessarily financially my avatar.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't do as many sales conversions from challenges, but I get a lot of engagement and a lot of people. I find that I convert better with a webinar.
Yes.
or a live event for a sales challenge. So I think I have like these two pockets of people, right? The people that that just show up and are the community, and I'm absolutely okay with serving them. But the people that actually buy my services are a different kind of set of people.
Yeah, you know what? I found that too. And that's why I stopped doing free challenges. And now I do a paid workshop that has a challenge component. So I'll do the workshop on a Wednesday. Where I present all the information. And you're getting all the information, and that could be it, right? Like that could be the price of admission right there. But then you have like the weekend to process the information. We come back Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of the following week and do a challenge on that information. It's only for the people that paid for the workshop. So I call it a workshop plus challenge experience. So that's something that you might can think about when you want to give, just kind of break it down to bring in more people on the paid end that are going to be more of a warm audience for your pitch at the end. So just play with that. It's just a little bit. All right, Glow, from the list of the different types of events that I have talked about, what is an event that you think will serve your people? And I see that you're about to have another barbecue for your tribe. So we know that getting together in that barbecue sense is working for you. What's another way that you can bring them together?
I'm sitting here thinking, and I don't know, to be honest with you. Um, I did have the barbecue this past Saturday. That was a great turnout. And I get charged for that. Um, and I noticed that next year I would be charging more. Um,
Well, I'm just glad to see you charging, because they used to be free, and that used to freak me the fuck out. So congratulations for taking the first step and starting charging. So I'm proud of you for that. So how about that?
well, thank you, but I don't know. I really don't know, sir.
No problem. I got you. First of all, let me say good morning to Miss Deborah Mitchell over there, Deborah Mitchell, Debbie, over there on our YouTube side. So, Debbie, get your answer ready in the chat over there on YouTube. So, what I really think that you should do, Glow, is I think that you should do a demo, right? Show them what all goes into producing one episode. Do a demonstration, right? And then even at the end of that demonstration, you can have two asks. Number one, you can say, "Hey, tell me some topics you would like us to cover." And then number two, if you would like to do your own podcast, let me know, because I do have a course that can help you to do that. So what do you think about that, Glow?
I'm talking over here. I I I didn't think of that, and that's a great idea.
Okay.
Doing a demo, but how will I record myself, like doing, like, with me showing what I do on the back end, like, or have somebody record me, or what? I'm
Yeah, you can have somebody record you. You can set up your camera in different places. You've seen it on TikTok where they basically just setting up their camera. Sometimes at home,
yeah.
they're capturing a piece of every part of the production. It's no different than the cooking videos, right? They don't sit there, all of them don't sit there and show the whole process that took them an hour. They just show bits and pieces of each of the process, and they're talking about it. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, yeah. So
Thank
that's
you.
what you can do. Of course, of course. All right, let's go to Dr. LaFera. Dr. LaFera, pick a different type of event than you've done before and let me know what is a new one you will try with your tribe that you think will work. And we're gonna let Dr. LaFera come off mute. All right, we'll come back to Dr. Oh, there you go, just in time. Thank you, thank you. What you got, Dr.
Oh my
LaFera?
goodness, what happened to Grace? Um,
YouTube happened to
um, I'm thinking about, well, not thinking about, I'm planning a challenge. And yeah, a challenge is what I'm planning. About 5 days, and yeah, so I'm planning that in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
And that will be the event, and it'll be online.
All right. Well, make sure that you run 5 days through who your avatar is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if
Yep.
your avatar is busy, they may or may not do 5 days consecutively. So it may be optimal for you to push them 5 days into 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
So just
Well,
make sure
it's
that you.
a juicing challenge. So
Oh, okay. I like that.
I
Okay.
don't know that would
That does
be,
make a difference. That does make a
yeah,
difference.
see any type of real benefit in 3, but because I don't want to do it longer than 5 days. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking about.
Okay, I like that. I like that. Cool beans. Thank you, Dr. LaFera.
Mhm.
Dewana, I know you've had some events, but tell me from the list, what's a new type of event that you can introduce to your tribe that you think will be successful?
Oh, I saw the mute button real quick today.
I appreciate you. Come on, I
Yay.
appreciate you.
Good morning, everybody. So I really want to do some demonstrations, online demonstrations. We do live presentations all the time. And so I'm working my way into doing online demonstrations and some
Yes.
challenges as well. Because we already have the 90-day challenge. So
Mhm.
I want to break it down into smaller, and 90 days is, the time, and Dr. LaFera can probably attest to this as well, is the time that it takes when you are on a complete regimen, and the time it takes for your metabolic issues to kind of reset a little bit. So,
I like the
but
90-day challenge for you because it also takes about 66 days to create a habit.
absolutely.
So yeah,
Absolutely.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah. And
Right.
it takes about 20 to 21 days to actually start seeing it. And I mean, change comes immediately for those that are in it. You'll start seeing results happen immediately, but when you keep going, you're going to really, really start seeing. She said that's
You see what Dr. LaFera said?
paid for. Yes, that's paid for 90 days, Dr. LaFera. Yes, ma'am.
Cool beans. And as you know, Dewana, I still want you to do a demo. You can go into your local grocery stores and do a demo. So I
Right.
love that. I love it for you. I love that
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
Cool beans. Before we go to Shawana, let's go over here, jump to this YouTube side because YouTube is jumping. So we got Kimberly over here on the YouTube side, and she says she thinks she wants to do a small spa and chat. And you know, she's our foot care expert, and I like that, a spa and chat. I love that. So you could definitely have a chat. You could definitely add some entertainment to that, and of course, pitch your staple product. I love that. And Miss Debbie said that she's going to do a video marketing workshop, how to plan a video marketing campaign. I love it. I love it. And Debbie, you could do my version of a workshop plus challenge experience too. Okay. So let me break down that again. So in the workshop, I'm teaching you this new concept, right? I'm teaching you the new concept. I'm teaching you the what's, the definition of stuff, why it's important. That's the workshop portion, right? Then I come back on that next Monday, and what I teach you is how we're going to do it. What is the actual process, okay? Then we come back on that Tuesday, and I teach you the tools that we're going to use for the how. Okay, I present you the tools and I show you how we're going to use the tools to actually get the how process down. And by day 3 of the challenge, it's a work session. Now we're heads down. We have the concept, we have the how, and we have the tools, and now we're using them on day 3 to actually get things done before we leave out of the challenge. So if y'all want to borrow that workshop plus challenge experience, that's how I do it. Workshop is presentation of the information of a new concept. Day 1 of the challenge, it's presenting the how process. Day 2 of the challenge is presenting the use of the tools that I have given to you or that you already have to do the how process. Day 3 is a work session so that I can make sure you get into the how and get things done before we end the experience. So feel free to take that whole thing, everybody listening, right? So Dr. Toya and Debbie, especially y'all, okay? So cool. Let's go to the second part of the information. And that is what you should be doing during these events. Again, in the blog post, I kind of run through it succinctly, right? So in fact, let's go back to that part of the blog post. Basically all I said was that during the event, you need to engage, you need to introduce the problem, you need to highlight why your company is the solution, you need to tackle objections, and you need to take questions. That's all I said in the blog post. Of course, y'all are about to get more. And by the way, Dr. LaFera, Kimberly on the YouTube side says she would definitely do a juicing challenge, okay? So during the event, this is what I need you to do. I need you to add engagement for connection. Okay. Don't talk at your audience. I need you to talk with your audience. Make it a conversation. This is how you're interactive when you're talking. This is what makes you less nervous, right? This is what makes it less you trying to figure out how to be a speaker. You're having a conversation. You're just the one on the stage and part of the conversation. Okay. So you got to make it engaging and have a conversation, because this is what immediately starts to build up your like and your no. Okay. Now, you need to clarify right away who what you're talking about is for. Help people self-identify. Okay. Oh yeah, she talking to me. Entrepreneur. I always call out entrepreneurs who are struggling to get to their first 6 figures in business. People immediately know whether or not what I'm going to say next is for them or not. Help people to self-identify so they can lean in and pay attention. All right. Now, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take them on a journey of like, know, and trust. All right. It's a whole journey that you're going to have in your one presentation, no matter what format you decide to do it in. So number one, you're going to introduce the problem. Okay. Number two, you're going to educate them on the problem and why having it, and why they're having that problem, I should say, right? A lot of people have a problem and they don't know why they're having that problem. They just know they're having the problem. They know they tried some things and they still have the problem. Sometimes if you could identify why they're having that problem, that's a part of where they start to trust you, right? This is important for all of us, but even more so for like Dr. LaFera. She is being a patient advocate. Some of these people don't even know why they're a medical patient. They know what's happening to them. They don't know why it's happening. And as soon as she starts to use her education to tell them why, that's trust, right? And so even in not so many extreme cases with us, so I always tell y'all, a part of why y'all can't make it to 6 figures and are struggling is because you don't have clarity. You're trying to do too many things, right? And when I reveal it to you, you know I'm right. And I have immediately built trust with you. Now, you still might not listen and still do video and gospel singing. And I'm just saying, you might still be doing all the things, but you know when I tell you that I'm right, right? So we're building trust, okay? Shout out to Shawana Kennedy. All right. So the next thing you want to do is introduce the solution. Okay. Then you want to educate them on what the solution is. Okay. And why it's important for them. Okay. So a part of that is going to be, hey, this is the transformation that you want. This is the dream that you've been having. This is why it's important that you take me up on this solution. Okay. Then you're going to share why you're the one to help them with the solution. And you're going to share why your offer is the best chance for them to get to transformation. Let me go back through that without so much storytelling, because it's a formula and I want you to hear it. Okay. We're going to take them through a journey of like, know, and trust. Introduce the problem. Educate them on the problem and why they're having it. Introduce them to the solution. Educate them on why it's important to have the transformation. Share why you're the one to help them. Share why the offer is their best chance for transformation. Okay. Now we want to address known and common objections. Okay. We even want to be so bold as to ask people, why wouldn't you take me up on this offer? What's in the way of where you are now in the transformation that you want? Start taking questions around objections. Okay. So, because somebody has an objection in the audience, other people are thinking that. Get somebody to come forward with it. All right. All right. The next thing you want to do is compel them to action. Now, this is a trick that we can do at these events, right? So first of all, for the event, they should have already signed up with an email. So you should be able to use that email. But the second thing you want to do is offer them a free gift, right? Now, your free gifts, if it's virtual, can be for them to stay to the end, because if they don't stay to the end, they won't hear your pitch, right? But also, I love giving a one-on-one free strategy or something like that. Not an entire strategy session. It's basically a ask me one question. It's like a ask me anything and you get one question. But what this free gift does is it allows you to tackle their individual objection to your offer one-on-one. Because when you present as a group, you're handling objections as a group, right? And you're going to get some sales from that, but some people are still going to be hesitant. So this free gift of a one-on-one is actually a sales one-on-one. It gets you right there with them where you can talk to them and figure out why wouldn't they take you up on their offer? What is their individual objection so that you can bust through that objection right then and help them, okay? Now, the next thing you want to do to compel them to action is you want them to take your offer and you want them to have some kind of future contact with you, right? So of course you pitch and you ask for the sale. A lot of y'all be going through all of this trouble of having these events and get scared and don't actually ask for the sale. You get to the most important part and you like, well, I got this little offer and if y'all want me to help you, let me know. No, baby, come on. We need to ask for the sale. This is a whole thing that we're doing, because how are you going to serve when you're so flippant about how you serve? No, we had this whole event to get to the pitch so that we can transform lives here. It's not a small thing, okay? And it's not about you. So I want you to produce it right. I want you to actually ask for the sale, all right? And future contact, it could just be follow me on all social media. I'm at Shay Cannon COO everywhere, okay? So all of those things. And last but not least, we want to answer questions about the content and we want to answer questions about the offer. Okay. So when you go to answer questions, tell them you want any questions about the material that I presented and any questions about the offer. So don't forget, we want both. All right. Now, that's all of the information, more than what's in the blog for y'all. Let's see what's happening over here on YouTube. YouTube is quiet. All right. So ladies, what you need to do within the actual event to pitch your offer. Are there any questions? What you got, Glow? You seem to already be off the mic. Did you mean to be off the mic? All right. Then I'm going to, she hurry up and mic'd up, y'all. She didn't say nothing. She just mic'd up. All right. I'm going to start with Dr. Toya. So Dr. Toya, with this process of what you should be doing during these events, was there anything in there that was helpful to you? Because you've had these events before.
I will admit I probably rushed through the pitch offer. Not all the time, but I'm not consistent, right? And so I'm starting a challenge this week. Not a challenge, I'm sorry. No, a webinar
Yes.
this week, and I'm doing it differently. I'm going to do a series of them leading up to my offer. So like, I'm going to have 4 individual webinars. Okay. And so I'm like, even if the first time I don't go all in, I got 3 more times to get it right. So yes. That's my focus this time, is really laying out the offer, giving them time to ask questions. I don't do that part, right? So giving them time to ask questions about the offer, and just sitting in it and not rushing through it.
Exactly, because I think this is a part of tomorrow's content, because tomorrow I think we're talking about closing. Yes, we are. Tomorrow we're talking about closing. But there is this guy, Jason Flatland. He is supposed to be the king of webinars. He made the most out of webinars ever. It's like millions of dollars. And he's actually an affiliate marketer. But he wrote this book called One to Many. Jason Flatland, One to Many. One thing, when we were at the TSP, Traffic Sales and Profit, shout out to Lamar Tyler event, when we were in the mastermind, he came and spoke to us and he told us that one of the things he did with webinars that was most impactful is he kept taking questions. He kept taking questions, right? So what he would do is he would do an offer that had these bonuses only available on this webinar, right? So that's one of the tactics that he used. But then he took questions, right? And he says, you know, this offer is only available as long as we're live on this webinar. You know, once this webinar is over, the offer with the extra stuff is over, okay? And he made it an irresistible offer. He made it the type of offer that people got the offer just to get to the bonuses. And you can only get the bonuses with this offer, okay? That's another tactic. But what he would do is he would take questions, and, you know, he would say, okay, while y'all are checking out and while y'all are getting, you know, your things done, I'm going to take questions. And after the questions, he would say, is there any more questions? And then he would keep asking for questions to prolong people having more time to buy, right? So answering questions is important. You can even start, this is why it's handy to have from yesterday your list of frequently asked questions, right? Because if they're not asking questions, you can tell them some that are commonly asked and ask, do anybody have any follow-up questions to those questions? You see what I'm saying? This is why we want to take questions for the content and questions for the offer. That's two different types of questions. So that Q&A time is very strategic. Dr. Toya said, I just did a webinar where someone used this tactic. I bought. I could tell that's what she was doing. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So shout out to Jason Flatlin in the book One to Many. And I forget how to spell his last name, but I'm going to put it in the show notes after it's over. But it's Jason Flatlin, Friedland or some shit. But the name of the book is definitely One to Many. All right. Let's go to Dr. LaFera. Dr. LaFera, out of these tactics we discussed today, and I know that you have sales events, what is something that you think will help you be more successful in your next sales event?
I think that out of what you just went over,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be more intentional about the journey, the steps of the journey, and making sure that I keep all the steps in place, because I know that I won't say a science, but it's well, uh, it's well, I won't even say research, but it's been shown that it's a reason for it being in that order. So I'm gonna do that when I get ready to actually make an offer. But for my challenges, like you said, give myself like a runway of like several days ahead, like just talking about it. Um, but in the future, I also like your idea of like doing a webinar and then leading into the challenge, because that kind of introduces it to more people that way and gets them excited about it. And so then the webinar strategy is not to give them everything. So like it's so then they want to join the challenge. So just following like the different processes for why stuff is and like why you do it a certain way.
Yes, I love that. I love that. And let me tell you, my workshop plus challenge experience could also be a half-day event, right? Because let's just say the workshop is an hour, the challenge is an hour for each day, and it could be a half-day event. So if you don't have multiple days as the host of the event to put forth for this, you could take a Saturday and do the first half of a Saturday, where the first part of it is the workshop. The second part, take a break. The second part of it is introducing the solution, right? The third part of it is coming back and telling them, the tools to use for the solution. And then the third part is maybe like a little 30-minute work session. And then, in there, you pitch the next big thing. So you can make it a day-long thing if you want to, instead of going over, workshop 1 week and then 3-day challenge the next week. That's just how I like to do it. I don't really like to dedicate weekends to me hosting things if I don't have to. But that's another way that you guys can do it. And also don't forget to offer the replays, right? Another reason why I separate my challenge from the workshop is because the people who can't show up at the workshop, they have time to go from Wednesday to Monday to not only, if they were there live, to process the information, but if they weren't there live, they have time to catch up for the following week. Okay. Shawana, you were coming off the mic. What did you want to add?
No, I was going to say, I do like that. And I definitely, the next time, because I've done a 3-day, we've had the discussion about 5 days. It does not work for my people. It just don't. But I was really curious to know even your thoughts, because I've done the whole, be seen, be heard, increase the visibility and your profitability, right? And of course, part of the challenge is them coming on camera, even if it's for 60 seconds, even if it's within the group. If you maybe had some more thoughts around how I can get some more folks to lean into that part, because once they do it, the people who really sometimes seems the shyest, once they get into it, it's really like saying, can you give me 7 days? I don't care if it's 60 seconds. And, of course, giving them all the steps to do this, to get used to seeing themselves, because that's part of it. It's not that they're not the experts. They have a problem with seeing themselves. And a lot of people, it is. I used to be that way a few years ago, not anymore. But hearing their own voice, it's like, you know what I'm saying? And that creeps some people out. And that's why, as smart as they are, as brilliant as they are, they really shy away from that. And so I'm trying to find another way to shake up some more of those folks. It's like, no, what you have is gold and more people need you.
So, let me answer that, and then I have a confession, right? So it may be the same way that People who write books are so worried about that they're a first-time author. But what they have to understand is the magic is in the editing, right? So what you might have to help them to recognize is, I just need you to be you. I don't need you to be anything but you, because the editing is going to take care of the rest, right? So the actual value doesn't hinge on you. I just need your face. You see what I'm saying? Take some of the weight off, I think may be helpful. Also, I think that you need to be introducing them to faceless video marketing, right? You got tools now. So now we can do stuff with just their words and not their face. However, we need to explain to them that without their face, though, they're not actually building a brand where they are recognizable. They would be building a brand where their solution and their information is recognizable if they go faceless, right? Now, that's what I think that you should do. Now, my confession, y'all, my confession is, even though I go live as often as I go live and do video as often as I do video and do podcast interviews as often as I do them, I am a perfectionist. And so I cannot stand to see myself on video. I cannot stand to hear my own voice. Okay. I cannot stand it. But what I have to remember is, number one, it ain't for me. So could y'all imagine me not coming on camera to have these transformational conversations with y'all? Right? Because I'm scared to be seen. I'm worried about, are my teeth looking too crooked today? I'm worried about, are my eyebrows on fleek? What is this hair doing? Because y'all know this natural hair be growing. So the cute little style I had this week, I can't even get next week, right? Or, I'm saying, I dress so casual. I have this big, who is it going to offend somebody? I cuss. Will I slip up and cuss? Well, I'm just going to cuss. How about that? I'm from Alabama. I sound country. Are they going to understand me? Are they going to think I'm stupid? I am out here as a fractional COO, and I do not have an MBA. I just know what I know. There are so many things that if we look at ourselves and we just get in our own way, that we will not be able to serve. It ain't about me, and it ain't about y'all, right? So when you're out here to serve, it's not about you. You a vessel. I talk about it all the time. Some of the stuff that I can't tell y'all the last time we had a morning show week and a blog that I felt like was not impactful. I can't tell you the last time. That ain't me. I'm a vessel. I recognize that I'm a vessel. I know stuff that was given to me, and it's my job to give it to y'all. That's what it is, right? I'm sitting here yesterday trying to figure out what's going to be our next workshop. Because number one, I don't like for y'all to pay for shit that is shit. Right? If it's not going to be transformational in your business, I feel like that should be free information, right? Even though I give y'all free information that's transformational, when I have a workshop and I ask for your hard-earned money, I want to be able to show you what the transformation is and walk you through it. So I was like, Lord, you're going to have to come down and show me what's the download, because I don't know what the workshop for May needs to be. I took a break in April, right? But May, we need to get back to these workshops. I don't know what it should be. Instantly got a download, because it ain't about me. So Shawana, you're going to have to help them to understand it's not about them. And if they're truly a servant, right, they're going to understand, get out of your ego and get into your service. So that's what I'll say. See, y'all have made me preach today, and y'all know I'm.
Come on here. Amen. Amen. So then that deserves an amen. Amen.
Just saying. Dr.
Amen,
Ferris,
amen.
Dr. LaFerris said, I'm listening to this confession. You is kind. You is smart. You is impotent, Shay. Yes, I is. Okay. Shawana said, I definitely lean into faceless video for strategy. Yep. Dewana, yeah. That's what I needed to hear. Yeah, we got to get out the way, right? And this is why you need to have a vision and a mission. And that's why I require my clients to have two missions, one for themselves and one for service of other people, right? Because sometimes even the service of other people ain't enough for us to keep going. Look at this economic climate we in, right? It's hard sometimes. So sometimes you got to remember why you went into business for yourself. And for me, it's my freedom. It'd be very easy with all of my talents and all of my background for me to go and get a high-paying job. But baby, I would die inside because I would have no freedom. I hate the corporate structure. I am unemployable at this point because I have an attitude. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need things done my way. Can y'all imagine me being efficient in processes and knowing operation, and somebody hiring me and all their operations and stuff is jacked up, but that's not the role they hired me in, but that's what they're trying to pigeonhole me into, some old inefficient shit. That's been all my life. I can't do it. I refuse. So I remember that. And guess what I do? I go right back to my business and use it as an ATM. What do I need to do to be of service to get the money that I need to be abundant? Okay. So yeah, I do have attitude to what I do. All right. So let's go to Shawana since she already off the mic. So Shawana, these new tactics for what you should be doing during your sales event, which one do you think would be most impactful for your next sales event?
No, I definitely love what you've been doing is the whole two, for to do the workshop and then the challenge, because I've done the challenge. I've done challenges and I really do like that. So the next one that I arm myself for, which will be similar, is to do the workshop challenge. I really do like that part of it. And one is actually even making where typically sometimes, depending on what it is we're doing, we would do a challenge for free and then do the upsell on the end of the challenge. I like, even if it's a smaller offer, getting that up front, and the challenge is just another part of that. I even like how you said the half day, because we know you can do the half day things on a Saturday and get a big bulk. So I love those ideas. They definitely under the cap. As always, you do amazing. Shay is amazing. Shay is amazing. This
Thank
is
you. I'll take
for
that, darling.
the
I'm
clip,
taking it.
right? Yes.
Cool beans. Dewana said, this was a great show. I needed all of this. Over on the YouTube side, Kimberly said, I'm good with on camera for my personal page. Still working on the confidence to do is on my business page and promote it. Yeah, work on that, Kimberly. And of course, get with Shawana if you need help with that. Y'all can also get, like, Shawana can help y'all with y'all social media type video. And then you got Debbie, who does that higher production. Like if you need like a whole commercial for a network type thing, you're doing some kind of corporate or government type videos. Those are the things that Debbie does. All right, but your everyday videos is Shawana. Okay, let me see. Anybody that I skipped that want to answer, how could today's tips on what to do during the sales event to pitch your offer help you before we get out of here?
I got a question. Will I be pitching a sale when I'm doing my demo?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I gave you two things to pitch. I wanted you to pull from them some research on what conversations they want to hear, and then pitch your course on how to do a podcast. Remember? So you had two.
I have a
Dr.
question.
LaFera? Yes.
So for mine, because I was thinking about, because I've been pushing it back. I've been thinking about the challenge for a minute. But I wanted to, I wanted to create a lot of content and stuff, and I'll be splicing up videos this week and posting them. But my question is, so during the workshop, I heard you talk about the workshop and on the weekend and stuff. In addition, so I was thinking maybe like, because I hadn't been in my Facebook group since I got out of the hospital, not really like going live. And so, like, should I do something outside the Facebook group that's shared inside, like the workshops that you do, like for a couple of hours prior to the challenge? And then you said, like during the workshop, be sharing, I guess be sharing different stuff inside of the workshop. I have to go back and see exactly like how you said it. But should I do it that way? Like do several different things since I'm trying to do it in a short period of time. Because at this point, like I just want to get say I've done it out of the way, and I have like a point of reference for like when I really want to like say have a success kit and stuff like that, that's like maybe has some physical or delivery aspect to it.
So I feel like that's where your organic marketing workshop skills come into play, right? Because we know tofu, mofu, bofu. So what we know is we need to be always letting everybody be aware of what we're doing, but who we expect to buy are people who are in mofu, bofu, right? So we want to let tofu people know so they see it. So the people outside the group, yeah, they need to know it's happening, but your expectation of them to buy is going to be very minimal. But the people inside your group that you've been nurturing, that already like, know, and trust you are MOFU, so they should be the ones to buy. So you definitely let them know, and you definitely remind them, right? But there can be something on the outside. This is how y'all see me change my Facebook covers, all of my social media covers to show a launch or whatever. But the people who are going to buy are not necessarily everybody that sees that cover. It's going to be the people that show up to the morning show, the people that are in the community. Those are the people that are in MOFU and slipping down to the top level of BOFU that's going to buy from me, right? So we just have to know that. This is why that we don't suggest that in this climate you run ads to an offer. You run ads to a free value something, get them on your list, get them in your group, or get them somewhere else where you can nurture them and then ask for the sale. So you always let people outside the group know what's going on inside the group to get more people inside the group so that you are nurturing more people, right? But who's going to buy from you most likely are going to be those people that you're already nurturing. So does that answer your question, Dr. LaFera? Uh-oh, are you hung up on the mic? Oh,
Yeah.
okay, there you go.
Was coming for the mic. Yes. You know how these phones do.
And
I
Like,
understand, but baby, we on YouTube. We can't have no look, we can't have no odd silences and awkward silence on YouTube. We ain't doing
I
that.
just want to say, Auntie Shay, I agree with what you just said to Dr. LaFera. In regards with you nurture them, they'll nurture. I mean, they'll pay, because I've also noticed like a lot of people gave donations in regards with my cookout. They gave a donation. They didn't show up, but they gave a donation. I guess because what you just said, because I do nurture them and have for them a place where where they can actually be themselves. So.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Of course. It's that what we were talking about, that law of reciprocity. When you keep doing stuff for people, when you finally make an ask, they feel like they have to fulfill your ask, or they're more likely to fulfill your ask. And also, don't forget that when you're asking them, they don't have to be the only one to answer the ask. Tell them, hey, if it's not you, do you know anybody that needs this? Right? Always put that in there too, because people are like, oh, I don't need it. Oh, dang, I really wanted to support. And then when you say, do you know anybody, they actually go through their brain to see, who else do I know? Because this person has been nurturing me and I want to show up for them too. So we need to use all of that, right? Because we're not using it in an evil way. We're using it to serve more people. So yeah. Well, all right, y'all. Let's get out of here. The studio is closing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Have a great day.